Alan Parker not only directed Angel Heart, but wrote the screenplay adapting it from the novel Falling Angel, written by William Hjortsberg. With the exception of moving much of the story out of New York and into New Orleans, Parker was extremely faithful to the source material, while adding directorial elements that made the film much more haunting. It's a tragedy, much more sad. Many of the characters, the lines of dialogue, and the sequence of scenes come to life from Hjortsberg's story. But Parker preserved many subtleties from Hjortsberg's work, from props, places, to dialogue. Each has its own interesting backstory, omitted from the film, but shared to the readers of the novel. For purposes of this video, I'm only going to list the easily overlooked elements that, more or less, paid homage to the book. They're little more than trivia. It wouldn't affect your enjoyment had you not known. Well, most of them anyway. Here are 10 subtle homages to the source material. Number 10. The Skeleton Keys. Early in the film, Harry opens up his drawer looking for a pen. We see, among other things, matchbooks, gum, a map, and a pistol. Also seen is a set of skeleton keys. In the novel, these were custom made for Harry to help him open locks. It had cost Angel $500. And in Falling Angel, he used the keys more than once, including breaking into Margaret Krusemark's place, where in the film he helps himself inside. Angel carried a key when he locked Dr. Fowler in his own bedroom. It was Fowler's key, located already in the lock. If you're wondering why he didn't use the keys to break into Fowler's place, because the lock used in the front door was 40 years old and he didn't have anything to pick it. The book and film both have Angel use a crowbar to pry the lock off the door to the basement. The wood frame was soft and made it easy, just as the film demonstrated. Number 9. Fowler's Missing Ring. Mentioned in my Dr. Fowler's video, Fowler had a signet ring with a pentacle on his right hand, sharing a sense of fashion with Margaret, Toots, and Cypher. It is clearly seen when Angel interviews the doctor and carries him into the bedroom, but disappears when Angel returns a second time to see the doctor dead. Was it a continuity error or something the film didn't go through with? We go to the book for answers. In the novel, Angel noticed Fowler was wearing a ring as the doctor was drumming the kitchen table with his left hand. Angel realized it was missing when he returned. Why would Fowler take the ring off, Angel thought to himself. Or more mysteriously, if someone had murdered him, why was it taken? Number 8. Where did the money go, Dr. Fowler? Dr. Fowler took a $25,000 bribe from Edward Kelly, aka Ethan Krusemark, to falsify Johnny Favorite's documents. Watching the film, we think he spent the money on pharmaceuticals and buying the same colored jacket over and over again. There's an old-timey photograph of a woman we presumed was special to him. It's placed on his chest as a memorial joining her in the afterlife. The book explained not only who she was, but what the bribe money was for. Fowler took the money to pay for an operation for his wife's carcinoid syndrome and a trip to the Bahamas, but they never went. Her name was Alice, and she died within a year. Sort of a monkey's paw thing there. Number 7. The Kingdom Mission. Angel Heart wouldn't be faithful to the novel without a trip into Harlem. The Harlem Kingdom Mission is where Angel first meets Cypher. While there, Harry watches the sermon given by Pastor John, with his outstretched hands asking for love and money. There's so much reference material thrown in here, I could make a whole other video. I could make another whole other video. While the book doesn't have Pastor John in it, it does have a Reverend Love. The scene in the book comes in the middle rather than in the beginning. Pastor John talks about wanting to ride a Rolls Royce. Reverend Love owns one. There are many other curious homages, more than sharing Harlem locations. Both the film's pastor and the book's reverend have well-dressed heavies mingled with their congregation. Most of all, both depictions have Cypher inside, somewhere. The film has Cypher upstairs in the mission's inner sanctum with attorney Winesap. The script explains Pastor John is a business associate of Cypher and may explain Pastor John's success with such a frank and unvarnished sermon. This takes us to number 6, CYPHRE'S speaking tour. Cypher meets up with Angel in New Orleans inside a Catholic church. Cypher explains he was in the area with a speaking engagement in Baton Rouge. For the casual viewer, this makes Cypher look like a respectful businessman, touring the country so he can afford to pay for the suits, Italian eggs, and private detectives. But this pays a very subtle homage to Cypher's hobby. The book has Angel follow Cypher throughout New York City, where Angel sees the mysterious man in the black suit making performances on his free time. From magic shows and small stage performances to religious sermons in Harlem churches. This takes us back to Reverend Love. In the book, Love introduces a guest speaker as a holy man of great wisdom named L. Cypher, but it is Louis Cypher, dressed like a sultan. Angel looks on and listens as L. Cypher gives a passionate speech about being strong and merciless. But Cypher's words, his advice, are strangely descriptive of 3 recent murders. The crowd is driven into a frenzy, waving and shaking their hands. There is a lot in the Pastor John's mission that was inspired from the book, including references to violence inflicted by the congregation. And we even get to hear a smidgen of L. Cypher's speech in the film. It's said rather calmly, when Cypher explains he has an old-fashioned sense of honor, telling Angel, in a church, he believes in an eye for an eye. Number 5, The Chicken's Foot. Also mentioned in a video dedicated to Epiphany Proudfoot, the chicken's foot made its appearance at the Red Rooster to keep Toots Sweet from talking too much. He has a big mouth, it seems. While the film and its script gives subtle credit to Epiphany, the book goes into further detail and read it was Epiphany who asked a nephew who lived around the corner of the Red Rooster to put a little reminder to keep Toots' blabbermouth shut. The book gives a pretty grounded explanation soon after the trinket gives such a scare, whereas the film encourages your imagination to run wild, believing the followers of the occult are everywhere and around the corner. I guess they sort of were. Number 4, Detective Stern's Coffee. In the film, Detective Stern and Deimos visit Angel a second time after discovering Margaret's heartless body. There's a blink and miss it moment when the concierge enters from our right, and cups of coffee are knocked off the rail and causes a mess. That little kerfuffle is right out of the book. Instead of a New Orleans hotel room, it's Harry's New York apartment. Instead of a concierge, it's Harry who offers the detectives coffee. And like the film, Epiphany is there, but in the book, Epiphany hides in the bathroom and comes out impersonating Harry's housekeeper. Harry frustrates Stern with his uncooperative attitude. Stern crashes the coffee cups, apologizes for making a mess, and makes similar and rather derogatory comments at Epiphany. Number 3, The Choke. It's one of those pictures Angel Heart leaves in our heads that borders between salacious and disturbing. This is a moment out of the book. In the novel, Harry clutches comes in the middle of the night after they're done making it rain. Harry has a terrible nightmare about Cypher and a bear. He grabs Epiphany before he is awakened by her screams. Epiphany screams in the movie too, but when Angel experiences a daymare. In both cases, Epiphany was fine with it. Before we get to the final two, like, share, or subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see more videos like this one. Number 2. The terrible, depressing meaning of dogs, covered in a most recent video and in more detail. Otherwise, this would have been number 1. You may want to think about pausing this video and jumping over to that, but in either case, this comes with a major spoiler. This is not for viewers who are easily made uncomfortable. Dogs are seen throughout the film. They're either chasing, eyeing, biting, and calling out to Angel. Was it a theatrical prop of life in the 1950s, or was there something behind it? During Angel's interview with Ethan Kruzmark, he asks many questions in the film but one. What happened to the body of the young soldier sacrificed for Johnny Favorite's fame? In the book, dogs weren't part of the story or even background noise. Not until Angel's final conversation with Kruzmark did Kruzmark confess the body was dismembered and fed to his hunting dogs. It's an homage to Harry Angel sprinkled throughout the film that's both subtle and sadly tragic. Number 1. Redecorating Toot Sweet's apartment. Detective Stern brings news of Toot Sweet's murder to Harry Angel. Among his descriptions were the murderer then took to redecorating his apartment with the poor jerk's blood. To the uninitiated, it's imagined the walls were splattered everywhere with blood. The movie universe kept it simple, leaving it as an unseen description of a terrible crime. But the book described it quite differently. After seeing the pictures in the newspaper, Epiphany explains to Angel, Toot Sweet's blood was used to draw bloody scribblings of voodoo symbols, though they were drawn by someone familiar with magic signs, but unaware how to draw them correctly. Epiphany hints that it could be someone introduced to the obeah, but not fully educated, and the signs point to Johnny Favorite. This begins to make Epiphany scared, and she runs to Harry Angel for protection and comfort. Perhaps that was Johnny Favorite's plan all along. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite homage from the book to the film? This is Mr. G of Synergy saying, sometimes the devil does go down to New Orleans looking for a soul to steal. Check out other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching.